Hello, my name's Erin Shea. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been on my channel before, I make videos about what I'm doing day to day to help improve and support my physical and mental health growth. So today I'll be talking about 5 ways to keep food interesting while trying to eat healthy or lose weight. Before I started trying to pay attention to my health and my fitness, I was kind of under the impression that it was all chicken and boiled vegetables and rice, which I cannot do. I'm a foodie and I need interesting food, otherwise I'm not going to want to eat it. It's as simple as that. So I ended up doing a bunch of research and making a lot of mistakes, and I have found 5 ways that I use to keep food interesting every day. My first tip is invest in cookbooks. You can't see the whole pile of this frame. It's actually quite big, but basically, obviously you don't need to buy cookbooks. You can get them from your local library. We live in the age of the internet. There's Pinterest, you can just use Google, things like that. But my point is to source a lot of recipes from a wide variety of sources and save the ones that you like. Like, I have a folder of recipes that I've found just on Pinterest and blogs and things like that I keep to refer back to, and some of these books have post-it notes and stuff in them to mark specific pages. So the reason to get them from a variety of sources is, for example, if I had a book on Nourish Bowls and it's written by someone who tends to go for that particular kind of food a lot and similar, I'm going to get sick of Nourish Bowls really quickly. So I also have other books. I have books on slow cookers. I have books that aren't specifically about health foods, but I can go through these books and find foods that are healthy and make alterations to foods to make them healthier. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to keep your food interesting, is to experiment with a wide variety of types of recipes and just try new things all the time. Don't stick to one source. Do your research to keep it interesting. My next tip is to collect herbs and spices. So, this is not my whole collection. I cannot carry my whole collection. But you will be amazed with how much you can change the taste of a recipe by just mixing up the herbs and spices you use. And even when you're doing simple recipes, say eggs on toast, I used to put paprika, but now I put sriracha sauce, which obviously isn't a herb or a spice, but it's still a flavoring. If you're concerned about it, there are basically no calories. It just adds a lot of flavor and you can change it so much every time you have it. Another example is I used to have a lot of overnight oats and it began to get boring. So I started adding cinnamon to my overnight oats and it completely changed the flavor. Experiment with your herbs and spices. The recipes that you collect should help in this, and it should give you some guidance on what goes with what and better guidance on how to experiment, so you're not putting oregano in, I don't know, something that's sweet. But seriously, don't underestimate the power of herbs and spices, even if you're just having that chicken with boiled vegetables and rice. I don't know how you do it, but congratulations, I guess. But I think just adding some different herbs and spices on top every time will seriously make a difference to how it tastes. Mix up your fruits and veggies. So obviously different fruits and veggies throughout the year will be seasonal. Currently I have avocados in Australia, which are great. And we live in an age where you can get most fruits and vegetables throughout the year. But even if you're just using the seasons as a guide, just mix up your fruits and vegetables. If you're having broccolini today, have cauliflower tomorrow. If you're always eating the same thing, of course it's going to get boring. Eating healthy does not have to be boring. In the same vein as trying different fruits and vegetables, you can also keep food interesting by just changing up the cooking method. It can make such a difference if you have steamed vegetables most days, but one night you decide to have your vegetables stir-fried. In the same way as well, if you have eggs on toast every morning, why not try poached eggs or boiled eggs rather than fried eggs all the time? It's just such a little thing that will change the taste and keep things more interesting so you don't get tired of them so quickly. Last but not least, my final tip is to mix up your drinks. So when I started on my health and fitness journey, I was very much under the impression that all I could drink is water. And I love water, but as soon as you put a limitation like that in front of me, I'm not going to be able to stick to it. So I ended up finding a couple more drinks which I can use to keep my drinks interesting, so I'm not resorting to things like soda or juices and things like that, because PSA, most juices are not that good for you. So other drinks I found that are not too high in calories and things like that, and furthermore often actually good for you, is things like kombucha. Kombucha is good because it's bubbly like soft drinks, so it tends to curb my soft drink cravings pretty well. It's flavorful, you can get lots of different flavors, like I've got ginger and peach here, you can get strawberry, you can get lemon, there's so many different flavors you can get, the possibilities are endless. And it's actually a probiotic, which means that by drinking it, you're actually helping your body fight off the sickness, which is amazing. Either way, works for me, I love this stuff. Another drink that I use to keep things interesting is tea. So during winter I tend to drink a lot of hot tea. There's so many different kinds of herbal teas. Just go to your local tea store. Here in Australia we have tea too. You're never going to get bored. There are so many different varieties. Just be careful to make sure that you're not getting one with added sugar. In the same way as that, there's also iced tea. Now I tend to make my own iced tea with the fruity flavors from places like T2. But if you're choosing to get the bottled ones, just be really careful not to get ones with the added sugars and all the added ingredients, because you can get proper iced tea that's just iced tea and it's really good and it's not bad for you, and while drinking that you're also drinking water, which is amazing. I've definitely fallen for the trap in the past where I thought that because something's iced tea says on the bottle, it does not mean that there's nothing else in there that they're using to add sweetness or something that isn't bad for me. Another one which isn't necessarily good for you, but I mean, I have one a day, is coffee. So black coffee has no calories in it, so that's just coffee and water. Obviously, as soon as you start adding milk and sugar, it starts adding other components. But what I like to have is black coffee with a dash of almond milk, which, as I said, if you're concerned about calories, it's fairly low in calories and it's delicious. They're my 5 tips. I hope you found them helpful. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you back. My name's Erin Shea and thanks for watching. Bye!